Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Kumusta kayo po? Ito po si Nico Fabian once again na nandito sa Nick Talk, the Real Talk with Nico program natin. Daily ito po, and of course I will be giving lahat sa mga followers ko, I will be giving you ang mga latest developments, especially dyan po sa Pilipinas. Kung nasan man kayo, I would like to say ang mga kababayan ko, ang mga kaibigan ko Filipinos at saka mga Malaysiano. Nandito po si Nico sa Kota Kinabalu, Sabah East, Malaysia. And I would like to invite each and every one of you sa itong episode ko. Tuesday episode, January 21. And tuloy natin po ang hot issue dyan sa Pilipinas tungkol sa national budget. Ang controversial issue po tungkol ang proseso ng national budget, tungkol po dyan, specifically dyan sa blank check, mga blank items dyan sa BICAM committee report. And of course, it has been for the past few days, nagiging hot issue ito po. Not only sa mga politicians dyan, sa mga gobyerno, concerned din ang mga Filipinos. Hindi lang mga Filipinos dyan sa Pilipinas, but also ang mga Filipinos, overseas Filipinos sa iba-ibang nasyon sa mundo. And of course, hindi exempted ang Filipinos dito po sa Malaysia, particularly dito po sa Sabah. But before we go on this issue, I just want to inform and would like to congratulate ang bagong presidente, ang bagong presidente ng United States of America, si President Donald Trump, no? At saka ang Vice President niya, si J.D. Vance, and they took their oath yesterday during a grand inaugural celebration. Si Trump is the 47, if I'm not mistaken, the 47th President of the United States, and si Vice President J.D. Vance is the 60th Vice President of United States of America. So mayroon silang grand inauguration ceremony yesterday dyan po sa Amerika. And of course, I would like to congratulate both the President and the Vice President ng United States, si Trump, President Trump, and Vice President, si Vice President J.D. Vance. I will show you ang footage, a portion of the inaugural celebration ng oath-taking ng Presidente Trump, no? Yesterday. And nandito po, let's watch this recorded video dito that I managed to sabihin natin record, no? Yesterday during the live ito po, no? Live inauguration or oath-taking ceremony of both the President and the Vice President of United States of America. Nandito po, let's listen and watch itong video clip.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Yon po ang taking ceremony of President Trump and his Vice President si J.D. Vance. Now, congratulations to the President of United States Trump, and of course the Vice President of United States si Vice President Vance. Yan po. And of course, everybody congratulated. A lot of people, a lot of leaders, no? National leaders are congratulated already the new President of United States of America. New President of United States of America. And of course, ang presidente natin sa Pilipinas, si Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., no? is not excluded or not exempted from giving his congratulatory, sabihin natin, greetings to the new President of America. So, yun po. And we are very happy na mayroon na tayo, mayroon na ang mundo, mayroon na tayong bagong leader. Comeback ito, 2 beses na po. Si Trump became the president. And according to the news, President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. on Tuesday, congratulated United States President Donald Trump after the latter was sworn into power, saying that he looks forward to working closely with the Republican administration. Congratulations to PUTUS at real Donald Trump and to the American people on another peaceful transfer of power in their nation's nearly 250 years history, Marcos said in a brief statement. I look forward to working closely with you and your administration, sabi ni Marcos. The strong and lasting Philippine-U.S. alliance will continue to uphold our shared vision of prosperity and security in the region, added Marcos. Trump was sworn in as U.S. President on Monday. The inauguration completed a triumphant comeback for Trump, who survived 2 impeachment trials, a felony conviction, 2 assassination attempts, and an indictment for attempting to overturn his 2020 election loss. Marcos had said he looks forward to working with the returning U.S. President on a wide range of issues. Wide range of issues that will yield mutual benefits to 2 nations with deep ties, shared belief, common vision, and a long history of working together. Yan po, sabi ni Marcos. Washington is deemed as Manila's long-standing ally, particularly in maintaining stability in Indo-Pacific region. Yan po ang notisya, no? Ang presidente natin, Philippine President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, also congratulated ang presidente ng Amerika at saka ang vice president niya, no? Si Trump and Vance respectively. So yun po. And we will be expecting a lot of things, changes, no? Mga policies during the administration of Trump. Si Heinz also, I would like to shout out muna, good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening kay Heinz. And if I'm not mistaken, Heinz is watching my program dyan po sa Pilipinas. Heinz, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you. And of course, I would like to greet also to your wife and to your daughter ba yun, no? To your daughter. God bless all of you, and more power to you and to your family. So, this time around po, now let's talk, focus na tayo po ang issue dyan sa Manila o dyan sa Pilipinas regarding itong BICAM committee report. Yesterday, si President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos mentioned or said during an ambush interview that Duterte is lying. Ang Malacanang din po, nagsabi po na Duterte is peddling with fake news regarding po yon reaction niya tungkol ang revelation or discovery of Congressman Isidro Ungab about the questionable procedures regarding itong GAP, GAA and GAP, deriving from, sabihin natin, ang BICAM camera report. Ano ba ito po? Normally po, ang budget will start with sa Kongreso. Sa Congression po, they will start, they will get the proposed budget from the President, and the Congress now, our lawmakers sa lower house will be studying itong proposed budget. And of course, there will be a discussion between after na approve na ang Congress ang proposed budget ng executive or ng presidente, then they are going to bring it up dyan po sa Senado to further discuss, no? And should there be any discrepancies or should there be any disagreement, no, between ang Congress and ang Senate, no? Now the next step will be dyan na po sa bicameral committee, no? Sa bicameral committee, and they will address this problem kung mayroon sila mga discrepancies, mga items that they don't disagree. Because before that, the Congress will be calling all the departments, government departments, and query on them, why you need this amount of budget, kung saan kayo maglagay itong budget ninyo. Every department nyo po, no? Every department. After that, then, of course, ang Senado din po. But should there be any problem or discrepancy, then the next move is to go sa bicameral committee meeting. Wherein exclusive ito po, no? Representative from the lower house and representative from the Senate, now they will be sitting down and discuss and address kung ano man ang mga sabihin natin disagreement nila. And once they solve this disagreement, they will come to an understanding. Now they are going to make this bicameral committee report. Now this bicameral committee report will be the basis or ang input ng general appropriation bill, no? General appropriation bill. But it should be completed before it will go to the GAP, no? General Appropriation Bill. Because whatever the ang GAP, then it will now be a document which will be considered as GAA na yun, no? General Appropriation Act, which will be submitted to the executive or to the president for approval. And then once mag-sign na yon si President Bongbong Marcos ang GAA, then it becomes a law. It becomes a law. So it will be implemented. And that was signed last December 30 yata yun po, no? December 30 by the President. But unfortunately, mayroon a few days ago, may na-discover si Congressman Ungab na mayroon mga discrepancies po. When we talk about discrepancy, it means mayroon mga blank items dyan sa bicameral committee report, no? Because ito na po, ang GAAP output will depend on the bicameral committee report. Now, sabi ni Congressman Unga, nag-question siya or he discovered na mayroon mga items doon blank. So, yon po. When he revealed this thing during a meeting, and ang former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte gave his legal opinion. So he's talking about the bicameral committee report. Now, after giving this legal reaction ni former President Rodrigo Duterte, it became an issue. And yesterday, the local media dyan sa Pilipinas, national media, they asked for comment from the President. And the President issued a statement saying that it was a lie, lying. Duterte was lying when it comes to the issue of blank check or blank items dyan sa GAA. Unfortunately, the President is talking about GAA while the former President is commenting on the bicameral report. These are two things po. No? So, correct. The President Marcos is correct when he say walang blank check or blank item sa GAA. Definitely wala. No? Correct yun po. Being the President and being the former President, sabi ni Marcos na the President, si Digong, should know that it is very impossible to have a GAA na he will sign a GAA na may mga blank items po. Correct yan po. But the only thing Duterte was talking about, yun po ang bicameral report which may mga ebidensya provided by Congressman Isidro Ungap na mayroon talaga po mga blank items, no? Blank check, si Duterte was calling it, which is really wrong. So, John po, that's the issue. Unfortunately, siguro, it was not properly advised. Ang presidente natin, si Marcos, was not properly advised by his advisors or sabihin natin, inform the president that what this controversy means is on the bicameral report and not the GAA. Kaya nga po nagiging issue. And one more thing, this is how I understand, no? This is how I understand. In fact, si President Bongbong Marcos, if I were him, now I will not comment on this thing because he has nothing to do pagdating sa bicameral committee report. This is the work of the lawmakers sa Congress yan po at saka ang Senate, no? He has nothing to do with this thing, no? Ang dapat dyan mag-answer itong mga queries raised by sabihin natin si Congressman Isidro Ungap is ang members ng bicameral committee who did the bicameral report, no? And you know already, bicameral report, ano yun po? Ano talaga yun? Wala silang script dyan, walang ano, no? It is exclusive sa kanila lang and of course, it is legal, no? They don't have to make it public when they discuss things dyan po sa bicameral committee, no? And after that, after the decision, they will be making the report. Ang problema lang dyan po, sa bicameral report, may mga blank items. And unfortunately, no? Now, yung mga blank items, yung dokumento, it was signed by the members of the bicameral committee. Except for, if I'm not mistaken, si Senator Amy Marcos, hindi siya nag-sign. Saka si Senator De La Rosa. And I don't know kung sino-sino pa. So these are the people na they should answer. And if it is true that they sign knowing the fact that may mga blank items dyan, that is a big question mark. And according to Congressman Ungap, and according to the legal reaction of the president, this is against the law. And they can be jailed. That is the issue po. No? That is the issue. But anyway, sige. I will share with you this explanation of Attorney Vic Rodriguez po. Attorney Vic Rodriguez, and yeah, I believe si Attorney Vic Rodriguez, he knows about the issue, no? And we better hear from him. And from there, hope you will also be clarified. Itong mga kababayan ko, no, who still blurred pa sa issue. No, let's listen to Attorney Vic Rodriguez explanation po. Sandali, ha?
Ipaliwanag.
Sandali. Okay, nandito po. You listen to this, and I hope you will be, sabihin natin, cleared or hindi na kayo blurred po regarding itong issue. Nandito po.
Article 6, Section 25, Paragraph 1. Hindi maaaring dagdagan ng House of Representatives ang halaga ang pinapanukalang taunang budget ng tanggapan ng Pangulo. Hindi nila ito maaaring palakihin, maaari nilang bawasan, pero hindi maaaring dagdagan. Unconstitutional po iyan. At ulit, dito po sa 2025 unconstitutional budget, pangalawang basihan kung bakit po unconstitutional. Higit pong bumukol yung panukalang budget ng tanggapan ng Pangulo nung ito po ay dumaan na sa Vice Cam. Itong Vice Cam na to, uulitin ko, wala pong authority ito sa ating saligang batas na pakialaman ang ating taunang budget. So dalawa na ho, yung ating basihan ng pagiging unconstitutional. Ito naman po, pag-usapan natin, yung sinasabing nagsisinungaling. Sino po ang sinungaling? Blanco po yan eh. Malinaw po, blanco po yan. Oh. Ito po yung mga pumirma. Yan po yung mga pumirma. Blanco po ito. So wala pong pagsisinungaling na ginawa nung kami po ay naglahad sa sambayan ng Pilipino kasama si Pangulong Duterte at si Congressman Sid Ungab. Para lang po sa kaalaman ng sambayan ng Pilipino, si Congressman Sid Ungab ng Davao ay isang veteranong mambabatas. Ang kanyang pribadong buhay, siya po ay isang bangkero. Banker po si Congressman Sid Ungab, magaling po iyan at buo po ang integridad niyan. Siya po bilang congressman ay naging chairman din ng Ways and Means Committee. Ways and Means, ano po ginagawa ng Ways and Means? Si Sid Ungab, nung panahon po ni dating Pangulong Noynoy Aquino, at ang speaker po niyan ay si Speaker Sonny Belmonte, pagtanong po nyo, siya po ang chairman ng Ways and Means Committee. Siya po yung nagpasa ng batas na binubuwisan yung mga same products, yung tobacco, yung sigarilyo, yung alcohol, at yung tinatawag nating mga produktong gumagamit ng mga sweetener or sweetened beverages and sweetened products. Bakit po importante nating masabi yun? Because that is a landmark piece of legislation dahil yung pera po, yung revenue na kinikita ng gobyerno mula dyan sa excise tax on tobacco, on alcohol, on sweetened food and beverages, yan po yung nagpopondo automatically sa tinatawag nating Universal Healthcare Law o mas kilala doon sa PhilHealth na siniro po ng Marcos administration ngayong taon. Yan po ang expertise ni Congressman Sid Ungab. At bukod po dyan, siya po ay nagsilbing minsan bilang Vice Chairman ng Committee on Appropriation. So maalam talaga ito pagdating sa proseso ng budgeting. At higit sa lahat, si Congressman Sid Ungab ay 2 beses naging chairman ng Committee on Appropriation. Matinong tao po ito, marangal na tao po ito. At alam niya yung kanyang mga sinasabi at alam niya ang patakaran pagdating sa tamang proseso ng paglimbag ng budget. Hindi kagaya ng member po ng Vice Cam. Ayan oo, blanco, pirmado. Pagsaliksik po yung ibang nating kababayan, malinaw po dyan. Pagka-enroll bill, ibig sabihin, tapos na po yun eh. Ito na yung final form, ito na po yung naging basihan ng GAB, yung General Appropriations Bill. May blanco pero nakapagpagawa sila, nakahulma sila ng General Appropriations Bill. At yung General Appropriations Bill na yan, ang sinampa sa tanggapan ng Pangulo. Ang problema, kahit may nangangalampag na ang sambayan ng Pilipino na unconstitutional budget yung pipirmahan mo, pinirmahan pa rin. Yan ang problema dito sa ating gobyerno ngayon sa ilalim ng Marcos administration. Kay MacTreb, ang Malacanang kasi ang naglalagay ng mga halaga sa mga blanco. MacTreb, pupunta tayo dyan. Ito na nga po yung ating pag-uusapan, yung blanco. Ang dami pong blanco. Ulitin ko, hindi pwedeng blanco po kasi ito mga kababayan. Sapagkat sinabi na nga ng saligang batas, tanging ang House of Representatives o yung mababang kapulungan lamang ang may karapatang magpasa at magmula ang lahat ng appropriations bill. Huwag na po natin pag-usapan muna yung tariff, yung revenue, hindi po yung mahalaga yun. Ang pinag-uusapan po natin yung budget, yung appropriations bill. So, sino ang naglagay ng mga halaga rito? Kung ito'y iniwan na blanco at ito po ang final na report ng BICAM, ayan po, pirmado nila eh. Pumipirma po ng blanco check yung mga ito. Delikado tayo dito. Kay Kikay, ayan po, panay blanco. Huwag ko kayo masyadong maniniwala doon sa napapakinggan nyo, ayan po, pinakikita ko sa iyo blanco. Yan po, blanco. Sino ang nagpuno ng blankong ito? Again, kahit sino pa yan, ang tinatawag po natin doon sa Bicameral Conference Committee, yung third house o yung third chamber. Merong lower chamber, may upper chamber. Nakialam po itong Bicameral Conference Committee, kaya tinatawag siyang third chamber. Unconstitutional po yan. Kay Laila Pag, sino po yung tinutukoy niya na fourth chamber? Darating tayo dyan, Laila Pag. Meron pong fourth chamber. Sino yon? Hindi rin po natin lahat alam. Sapagkat yun ang dapat nating singilin. Sino ang nagpuno ng mga blangkong ito? Tapos na po eh. Pirmado na. Sarado na. Yung committee report. Tapos na po. Hindi pa pwedeng itanggi ito, pirmado eh. At ito pong kopyang ito ay hindi lamang si Congressman Sip o nga bang may kopya. Ito po ay pinadalhan ang lahat ng mambabatas at pinadalhan ang lahat ng senador via email. So public document po ito. Bakit po kinakailangan exclusively mag-originate ang appropriations bill sa House of Representatives? Sapagkat po, mas marami sila. Ang assumption po ng ating saligang batas, since mas representative kayo ng tunay na sentimiento ng mamamayang Pilipino, dapat diyan nagmumula yung appropriations bill. Dahil mas nararamdaman ho nila alam nila yung mga pangunahing pangangailangan ng sambayan ng Pilipino. Kaya po sa kanila nagmumula. However, yung Senado maaaring mag-approve o kaya makipag-usap sa kanila, mag-disapprove o kaya mag-reconcile po sila. Yun lang po ang purpose ng Bicameral Conference Committee. Subalit, blanco. Comes now the most difficult question. Sino ang nag-fill up ng mga blankong ito? Hindi po maaari yung chief of staff ng mga kongresista at mambabatas. Lalong hindi po pwede yung kung meron man silang itinatag na technical working group. At lalong hindi pwede kung executive department ang nag-fill up nito. Bawal ho yan. Sapagkat malinaw sa ating saligang batas, all appropriations bill shall originate exclusively in the House of Representatives. Ang basihan po niyan ay Article 6, Section 24 of our Constitution. And I challenge anybody, bisitahin po ninyo yung ating saligang batas nang mahimasmasan po kayo at matauhan po kayo na sadyang illegal itong 2025 budget na pinirmahan ni Bongbong Marcos. Ito na po, yung ikatlong unconstitutionality. Sino ang pumirma o sino ang naglagay ng mga halaga sa mga blankong ito? Hindi ho kasi pwede, malinaw po rito eh. Sa omnibus motion, meron po nakalagay dito sa kanilang, ito po lahat galing sa kanilang report. Sabi po sa kanilang omnibus motion, yung technical staff ng House Committee on Appropriation and the Senate Committee on Finance, ito na nga po yung Vice Camp, are authorized to effect, pakinggan ho nyo ha, yung technical staff po nila, binigyan nila ng otoridad na to effect corrections lamang of typographical, grammatical, and printing errors. Yan po ang malinaw dito. Ang pwede lang nilang punan o tamain ay yung mga effect corrections of typographical, yung spelling, halimbawa. O kaya yung mga grammatical, mali po yung English. O kaya yung mga printing errors. Pero hindi po nila pwedeng pakialaman yung halaga nito. Hindi po nila pwedeng lagyan ng kahit magkanong halaga, kahit 1 sentimo ang mga blankong ito. Bawal po yun, illegal po iyon, unconstitutional po iyon. Now, having debunked the fake news of Malacanang, malinaw po kung sino ang nagsisinungaling. Malinaw po kung sino nagpapalaganap ng fake news. Ang usapin po dito ay ang Bicameral Conference Committee final report. Ito po iyon. Puno na blanco. Ayan o, blanco. Paano mo lalabanan ito? Dokumento ito galing mismo sa House of Representatives. At lahat ng congressman at lahat po ng senador ay may kopya nito. Ito ang dapat ipaliwanag ng Kongreso. Ngayon, nakikialam ang Executive Department. Baka ho, meron silang alam na hindi natin nalalaman. Baka po, meron silang kinalaman sa pagbubuo ng mga halagang ito. Bakit po importante? Kasi tingnan ninyo, blanco. Pag blanco, paano ka nakabuo ng budget na ang halaga ay 6.32 trillion pesos? Saan galing yung 6.32 trillion pesos? Ulitin ko, kahit po yung mga mag-aaral sa elementarya, yung basic math, 1 plus 1, 2. 2 plus 2, 4. Pero kahit po kayong napakatatalino nyo ng lahat na nakasubaybay po sa akin, sagutin po nyo ito, 3 plus blank, pagkakanong lalabas ang halaga. Ang hirap po sagutin, hindi ba? 3 plus blank, ang lalabas sa halaga ay magkano? Hindi po natin matiyak. Yun po ang nangyari dito sa 2025 budget. Itong mga blankong to, merong isang grupo na nagpuno ng mga halaga nito. Sino yun? At kung sino man kayo, wala kayong authority. Bawal yan. Whether yung nagpuno nito ay nagmumula din sa subcommittee o may subcommittee ang vice cap is not an innocent piece of paper or document. Ito po'y may evidentiary value. Ano po yung evidentiary value nito? Unang-una, blanco, paglabag sa ating saligang batas. Pangatlo, yung mga pumirma po rito, is a clear abandonment of a sacred constitutional mandate, of a sacred constitutional duty na bantayan ang kaban ng bayan at kahit 1 sentimo ay hindi dapat masayang. Yan ang value ng dokumentong ito. Hindi po ito innocent piece of paper. Yan ang kainaman din naman sa gobyerno. Napakarami po kasing kopya nito. Hindi ka pwedeng basta-basta na lamang manloloko ng sambayan ng Pilipino. Nakakala mo, walang lalabas na dokumento na magpapakita ng kalokohan ninyo. Kaya Lane Banares, where is...
Yon po ang explanation ni Atty. Vic Rodriguez. Sana lang po, you'll be clear on this thing. No? You'll be cleared on this thing. No? Hindi na kayo magiging blurred sa issue po. No? Ang tao who has to got the responsibility to explain to the public, hindi ang presidente. Because the president has nothing to do with the activities dyan po sa legislative. No? Dyan po sa legislative. This is the work of the legislative branch. No? Kung sino man yung nagawa po. No? And kung bakit man nag-sign ang mga lawmakers natin, concerned lawmakers, no? Be it sa Congress or sa Senado, now you are also accountable. You're also, sabihin natin, you have to explain, no, why you signed itong document. When I say the document, it is the Bicameral report, no? You sign the bicameral report, maskin may mga blanco items doon o dyan. Yun po. So, ano sa palagay ninyo po? Correct ba yun? To say that former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte is lying? Or, ano? For your information, si Digong was just giving his legal reaction. Legal reaction lang yun po on the issue. Who exposed it is the congressman. Si Congressman Isidro Ungap. Si Presidente is just giving his legal reaction or comments. Si President Bongbong Marcos, if only he was properly briefed, gave him the right information on the issue, siguro hindi magsabi si President Bongbong Marcos that he is lying, referring to Duterte. Because si Marcos was talking about the GAA. And Duterte is talking about or giving his comment on the bicameral committee report. So, yun na po. That is the issue. So, kayo nang bahala po to anong masasabi ninyo. I hope that with this kind of video clip I shared to you po, it will help clear ang whatever doubts mayroon kayo po regarding itong issue. So hanggang dito na lang. Si Nico Fabian once again would like to say thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. Malaysia, Sabah, the Philippines, God bless us all, and I love you so much. Keep in touch. Itong programa Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico, and I'll make sure that itong mga followers ko will be properly updated ang mga issues dyan sa Pilipinas, especially now that we are gearing towards ang midterm election sa May 12. May 12, midterm election ito po. So with this, bye and see you tomorrow.